By now, you've probably heard my Magic Wand story. It's a brand that's been part of my personal journey for more than 20 years. But no matter how many times I sing Magic Wand's praises, I'll never be able to fully capture the story of this incredible brand. Well, now journalist and author Kate Sloan just completed a limited audio series documenting the history and impact that Magic Wand has created over the last 56 years. It's called Making Magic. And the series chronicles Magic Wand's incredible brand story through interviews with nearly 40 experts, performers, business owners, educators, and fans. So I got a sneak preview of this series, and what I loved is that Kate weaves together snippets from all their interviews into this amazing story arc. She covers Magic Wand's journey from appliance store massager to its legendary influence on culture and sexual independence, and it's all just fascinating. The first episodes of Making Magic are available now at makingmagicseries.com or on all popular podcast platforms. Just search for Making Magic or visit makingmagicseries.com today. Thanks for listening to Sex with Emily. I'm Dr. Emily, and on today's show, I'm bringing you a mashup of holiday proportions. Some of our favorite holiday shows wrapped into one for a very sexy time of year. Topics include why being single during the holidays isn't a bad thing at all, tips on warming up for some hot holiday sex, and some stats about holiday party hookups and sharing the household chores during the winter season. All this and more. Thanks for listening.
Into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily, you got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's got to have her standards. Oh, my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, it feels so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. But you know, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
I'm excited to be here with my producer, Jamie, and we're going to be talking a whole lot of sex stuff. Hello. We're talking holidays, but holidays can be stressful time of year. And we know that sex can be a huge stress reliever. Anxiety, there's so much anxiety and stress, yet we often can put sex on the back burner. We might do that throughout the year when we're stressed, but especially during the holidays. So we want to give you some tips about how to keep it interesting, right? Because sometimes we think, I am so stressed out, sex is the last thing on my mind, or I'm just so tired, sex is the last thing on my mind, or I'm just so hungry, sex is the last thing on my mind. I think a lot of us delay sex. But here's the thing. We forget a lot, first of all, how important it is to actually have sex with our partners. We think, well, we'll get back to it. But it's so much easier just to maintain. And you might forget this, but once you get started having sex, do you ever really regret it?
I don't think I ever have.
You've never been like, God damn it, why do we just have hot sex? No, right?
Unless you're having issues in that department, maybe.
True. Unless it wasn't great sex. But I always say it's like going to the gym. Like the hardest part is getting out the door, and then you don't regret that either. The gym.
Never.
Getting your shoes on, getting out the door. So same thing with sex. So it's about keeping sex top of mind and thinking about it in a more positive way. Not like it's going to be a burden or a drag or how are we going to find time, but start thinking about sex like how you need sex. And this could also goes for masturbation.
I agree because I'm like, when you think about sex, like, oh, like I don't have time for sex. Like this is just going to like, I'm not feeling it right now. It's not going to make you feel good. But if you're like, oh, sex, it's great. I just like having it. I think it's good. Even if you don't have it that day, I just feel like it kind of makes you feel better.
Yeah, it's true. And yes. And think about the sex you previously had maybe or sex that you want to have with your partner. So even if you just think about it this way, that if you're like, well, there's no time, the holidays are so crazy, it could be 20 minutes. 20 minutes of sex. Like, how much time are you spending and maybe even wasting on other things? Like, how much time did you spend on social media today? Mm-hmm. How much time do you spend holiday shopping? You could just say, you know what? I'm going to prioritize sex, put in the schedule, and make sure that it happens.
Yeah, just put it in your calendar even. You don't have to call it sex in case you're worried someone's going to look at it or masturbation. Just be like me time or us time or something.
Exactly. Just something, because then you'll think like you might not realize this over time, but I actually track these kind of things when I don't have sex or even don't have orgasm. I've talked about this, but if I don't masturbate, for a while, and I do, I'm like, oh, yeah, orgasm. It's so good. It really does. All that stuff we talk about, how it boosts it does boost your immune system, orgasm, but it also, the serotonin, like all the feel good feelings you get from an orgasm actually can shift your mood. So even if you just take a deep breath and you pause and you realize that, well, wait, sex, I'm not going to think negatively about sex, or I'm not going to be stressed out that my partner wants sex, but you breathe and you're like, oh, it's not going to mess up my schedule. I have time for it. It's important. So just want to remind you guys of all the stress. Make some time for the sexiness. And then we've got some tips for you guys for the holidays. Some sex tips for the holidays when, again, it might not be as convenient, but it's also really cold out. Even here in LA, it's cold today. It's weird when it rains here.
It is weird.
Cold, and like, I don't have a raincoat or an umbrella. I'm ill prepared.
I thought I had a lot of cute winter type clothes, and I realized that I don't have a lot of cute winter type clothes.
No? Yeah.
I mean, I
'cause it
guess
was warm here.
Yeah, because it never gets too cold. So it's like, you know me, I only have basically leggings as pants. I have
Right.
like maybe one pair of jeans that I wear.
I've never seen you in jeans.
And I just don't like to wear them.
Do you have a Paddington Bear raincoat, like a yellow raincoat?
No, but I really want one.
I just had an image of you on, and it, like, I feel like, have I seen you in a yellow raincoat? And I don't know why that just popped in my head. Paddington
that's
Bear.
so-
You know those Paddington
Yeah.
I was like, I think I've seen Jamie one, but maybe not.
No,
Maybe in my dreams.
It's so funny because there's this song, it's like some techno song that's weird, but it's like something about like spreading love like a Paddington Bear. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it like some techno song? My least favorite kind of music.
I
It's
know.
true. But anyway, music. Oh, and then there was another, speaking of music, Interesting Sex in the News that came out recently about how playing music, we've talked a lot about music during sex, but actually, wasn't there a study that said if you play music during sex, there's just more pleasure, more orgasms, more connection with your partner, because it's another, like, you're less distracted by outside noises and whatever's happening, and it can kind of get you in that groove. And it was certain types of music.
Yeah. And then I think too, you both can kind of it helps you find a mutual rhythm.
Yeah, a mutual rhythm from the music.
Yeah.
I found that interesting. Because every time there is music when I'm having sex, if it's not techno music, I feel like I'm like, oh, we should do that more. It's so easy now with playlists and everything. You don't got to put a CD in.
No, it's true.
Like, remember, like, CD player stuck. That doesn't happen anymore. Okay, so the other thing is just reminiscing, music lane. So some tips for the holidays. If you are, I think shower sex is fun for the holidays. If you've got relatives staying with you or you're just busy and you guys are both, we don't have a lot of time, like, let's hop in the shower, and it's cold out.
Yeah.
So take a warm shower.
Like a really hot shower, keep the steam going, maybe like let it get hot before you get in it so there's already a lot of steam.
Yeah.
Things like that. I think that would be really cool.
Me too. We love the Sport Sheets Sex in the Shower line. It's essentially makes shower sex exactly what you wanted it to be before you probably had some ill-conceived shower sex sessions, because sometimes they're ill-executed. Sometimes we have shower sex and it's like not as great as we think. But with sex in the shower, it helps you from falling over.
Yeah, which is a real thing. It's like
people fall over and go to the emergency room.
And
that happens.
You don't want to do that.
No, so they have these really cool, the bar that you can put your hands up on, comes off the wall easily. The vibrating mesh sponge, I think, is one of the most genius inventions. It's a mesh sponge with a vibrator on it.
Exactly.
Enough said.
Just play around with each other while washing each other, killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah, and even just be a massage on your partner's back. Like, you don't have to get it all off, but it could be fun. It's a place for to have some privacy too.
Yeah, and I think it's fun because you can't really the vibrator like hides itself in the sponge, and even the footrest, it's like, yeah, I use it to shave my legs, or with a handle, it's like I'm lazy,
right?
I like
exactly
because that's what I
just
do.
Hang on, you can't tell what it is, but it actually, right, you put your foot on it, you put your hand up on it, and so it's like that brace so you don't fall. That's the point of the Sex in the Shower line. It's brilliant.
And people aren't going to be like, why is this sex stuff in your shower? It's like they're not going to be able to tell.
It's incognito sex stuff in your shower, and GB does shave her legs in her little shower bar. Get creative.
I think I left it at my parents' house though, and
when you moved,
yeah.
And then hopefully they're using it either for sex or shaving.
That bathroom doesn't get used now.
Oh,
it's like a shrine.
Jamie. Okay, so then after you get out of the shower, if you choose this adventure, use massage candles. I haven't talked about massage candles in a while, really, because I don't know why, but I've really have a refound love for them. They are cool, you guys. If you haven't used them yet, it's because I used to have my own massage candles. That's why.
We need to
I had my own line years ago.
We need to
if
make
you've
a
been
new
listening for a
line.
while. I would love to make it, but I do love the Jimmy Jane ones or the Donna massage candles are great. You can find these all on our website. We do have a new store that you can check out, powered by Good Vibrations, which is my favorite sex place. I have to say, I just grew up there. My mom let me run around. No, kidding. But when I moved to San Francisco, I loved it. But you ignite massage candles. How they work is you light them. If you don't know, you light a candle. They have amazing scents. You know, you even light it for a little foreplay when you're hanging out with your partner, and then you blow it out, and it turns into this really luxurious massage oil. It's not like messy, waxy hot. You don't burn your partner, and then you just pour it on them, and you give a little sensual massage. And that is another thing to deal with the stress over the holidays.
I mean, what's more relaxing than a massage?
I know. I'm thinking I should maybe take like a massage course. I know we've recommended this to a lot of people. Like you can take them online now too.
Yeah.
Like that is a great thing to do with a partner. Take a massage course or find a masseuse you know and have them come over and teach you. Like I think sometimes people could be like, oh, I'm not sure how to do it. It would be weird. But you just need it's like literally 1 or 2 strokes. Like you just don't do it on the spine. Like there's certain things you avoid and then you just use your hands and you do some kneading and it just feels really good. And then the warmth of the oil beneath you, you can just kind of, it's all slippery and you can roll around together in the sheets.
I always forget too, because like giving just like a dry massage, like how much, because it's not bad. It's still fine. Like anytime your partner or someone's touching you, like I like that. But I'm like when I use like oil, it's first of all, it's easier to give the massage.
That's the other thing. You can't really mess up if you use really good massage oil, lotion, something.
So it's easier to give the massage and then it just feels nicer for them, I'm
does.
sure.
Absolutely. You get like essential oils. Now they have like CBD massage oils. There's a lot you could do with it. So I say even just for a few minutes, we also know that it's just relaxing. So if you've been in that relationship and you're just like, I'm never in the mood, like just give each other 10-minute massages. It just keeps things nice and toasty, the massage candles. So those are some ways to reduce stress over the holidays. But here's some ways you can really get what you want for the holidays. I think it's a perfect time to actually ask for what you want, to finally get that sex that you want. And we've got some great ways to facilitate that.
Yeah, why not get a regular gift and a sex gift?
I think you should always. I only give sex gifts. It's true. To most people, I only give sex. Even my mom, we just send her some lube. So yes, give sex gifts. And so another good thing is we actually are having some fun here. We were like, I really want to give the listeners a variety this year of just some gifts that you could buy, some you could make, some you could just, and that will also advance your sexual agenda. So, great time to do the old sexual bucket list, where you're each writing down a few things that you want to try and then you swap it. This is just so you can go into the new year knowing that we've got a plan in place to prioritize our pleasure. And the bucket list is where you each write down 3 things you've been wanting to try. It could be a fantasy. It could be more making out, spanking.
You might even be surprised that there might be some overlap in your lists.
Yes, that's where you start. You start with the overlap. The holidays coming up, whatever you celebrate, but you might go see the family soon. You probably will. And so I feel like this time of year, it's really kind of known to be a very stressful time for couples. I mean, I know that the holidays are supposed to be cheery and happy and warm and all this good stuff, but right, Anderson? Do you get stressed out or no?
Oh, yeah. I mean, everyone does.
Do you really? I mean, because I don't, because I
get stressed about the shopping.
I mean, I do a little, but not like you do, because I don't have in-laws and stuff.
I got 15, 20 people that it's instantaneously I have to think of what I should get them. And
right.
It's a pain in the ass.
It is a pain. And how do you feel about your in-laws?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So it's not easy.
They think I'm okay.
They must love you. Come on.
I'm like the second best out of 2.
What do you mean?
Well, they have another son-in-law. They have all daughters. But they have 2 son-in-laws. They got 3 daughters. 3 daughters, no boys. And then now they have 2 son-in-laws. And I am a distant second.
Why?
Because the other guy's handy and he's around all the time and he's already given them 2 kids And he's from New York, and he's like, he's that guy.
He's handy. He like puts in light bulbs and stuff and like fixes circuits when they're broken.
Redid their entire patio, and I can't compete with that. Plus, I've slipped up and said a few things about the mom in front of everyone at her expense, which you don't do with that family.
No, you really don't. You made fun of the mom like early on, and you could never rescind or
right. Yeah, they still bring that up every time. Like, you mean like the one time when you called our mother stupid?
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Really?
It's bad.
But they must love you. You're just saying that, but they must like love that you make their daughter so happy.
Yeah.
Okay, how about your own family? Do you see them on the holidays? Did you just split it up?
That's its own thing. I don't talk about that.
Okay, this is the thing. So
got to split them up. Yeah, it's like double the fun.
Right. And so it's stressful, but it's like, I was just thinking about this on the way here because I love coming here during the show and my brain just goes, I'm like, oh my God, it's interesting the holidays because it's so confusing. Like everything in life, there's a lot of dualities. There's the joy, the holidays, gifts and presents and family. And I'd say 50% of it, maybe for a lot of people or more, could just be like stress and gifts and family and all the drama that can bring up. And so things get crazy at work and, you've struggled, want to find the perfect gifts and all that stuff. So I'm going to give some tips for, surviving the in-laws and all that stuff. But first I want to say something that I think is going to go back to, that's just going to help everybody. And something I've been thinking about a lot too is that the holidays do get hard and they can be confusing. And I just want everyone to know this because it's something that I had to deal with my family. And this has nothing to do with sex at all. But I'm going to get to it. I promise. Is that your parents did the best they could raising you with the skills that they were provided. So I'm sure they had like whatever they did to you or whatever issues they bring up for you. And I'm not saying everyone, you could love your parents, but everyone's got issues. They did the best they could. Their parents probably did the same things to them that they do to you, or that's how they were raised. They didn't know any better, but they love you to the best of their ability. And your parents aren't going to change. They're never going to change. So every year you're going to continue perhaps to get disappointed or let down by similar things that happen every year. Like, oh God, mom did this again. So the only thing that's going to change for sure and that that's going to change is you and your expectations that you have of what's going to happen over the holidays. So if every year you expect that you're going to go home, it's going to be great, and your mom's going to get you the perfect gift, and your dad's going to compliment you on your raise at work and all the great things you're doing, and is really nice to your husband or whatever, it's not going to happen this year. Am I not? I mean, I hope, people can change, but only if they want to. And so typically people in our lives, unless they go through some own metamorphosis on their own or therapy, they're really going to be the same. And I'm just going to save you. A lot of people know this. Do you know this, Anderson? Do you accept your parents yet? I think like people when they're younger, they don't. Like, I think I had to go through this, like in therapy and figure it out and hate my mom and get mad and then talk to her and confront her and let it go and realize, did you go through this?
Yeah, I think usually when you get closer to like your parents' age when they had you,
right,
you have a lot more insight as to like what might have been going through their head.
Exactly. So this is just a public service announcement, okay? Because I think it's important.
So you're saying get your dad a fleshlight?
No, I'm just being honest to people that I've been thinking about this a lot and talking about this a lot this weekend, that your family just, whatever. So try to have good time this holiday season and try not to be so stressed and love your family and appreciate them and love your partner, because appreciation and showing generosity and appreciation are the things that make relationships stronger. And if you get all stressed out and anxious and you stop connecting and you stop having sex because you're worried about your family and what to buy, then you're just going to let it slip by. So let's all pledge to have a really joyous holiday season.
So you're saying have sex in your family's house?
Oh, funny you should say that, because we have a Sex in the News story about that. Really? Do you have sex in your in-laws' house?
I don't talk about those things.
Okay. Half of Americans admit to having sex while staying with family over the holidays. It's a poll. Hosting relatives and friends over the holidays? Odds are they're getting randy in the guest bedroom, because according to a poll conducted by online travel site Priceline.com, nearly half, 49% of the 1,000 U.S. respondents admit to engaging in some sort of holiday nookie, be it in the teenage bedroom they grew up in or their aunt's fold-out couch in the basement. But it's not just horny house guests that are engaging in art-related holiday fun. It applies to the hosts. They admit to being naughty in their boudoir while the guests slept, and maybe that's why 2/3, 68% of Americans say they preferred that their out-of-town guests stay in hotels. I want everyone to say, I want to stay in hotels. I don't want to stay with anybody ever. Like, I don't even want people to stay with me, nor do I want to stay with anyone. Not even like, seriously, if I'm dating someone, maybe, but who the hell it's so much better if you can have your life and your time and we're adults. Do you agree, Anderson?
You just finished saying, enjoy your family, accept them, and enjoy the holidays. Stay by yourself.
Stay in a hotel. No, I'm just saying.
I just want me and my Mimi in room 134.
Okay, whatever. I understand that you all can't stay in hotels. I'm just as my personal thing. But if you're staying with your family and you're going to have sex, which you probably will, I'm going to be giving you some ideas later. I do think you can be rosy over the holiday. Just stay in a hotel. I have things that you can. They're actually, if you get Randy in the hotel, it's totally fine. And Randy with your parents.
What?
There's discreet toys that I'm going to tell you that are very quiet that you can use.
You should probably recant that. Randy at your parents' house, not Randy with your parents.
Did I say Randy with your parents?
You did.
Randy with your parents could mean having a good time. Does Randy always mean sex?
It does, I think. It's a British thing.
Okay, whatever. So that's what people do. So you don't. I've had sex at my mom's house.
Yeah, there's something about going to the in-laws' house or even your own house, especially if it's like your childhood house. There's a lot of memories there, a lot of sexual ghosts in that house, you know. And
but like
takes
parents
you back.
know that. My parents, like I always stay with my parents in Michigan. I'm kidding. Actually, all that rant because I was just thinking about my stressfulness of staying with anybody, like except for my family, because I actually do love my family. But I've had sex at my mom's house a lot, like in recent years too. Like I used to hook up with my ex and we'd go in like her patio. My mom passes out. She doesn't know.
Well, your mom passes out and you have sex
I
in
had
the patio?
the best, do you know that 2 years ago, I had the best sex at Thanksgiving, or a few years ago. This was more than that, with an ex-boyfriend who was also from my hometown. We had amazing sex, the best sex ever. In fact, every year I get a text from him. We broke up 5 years ago on Thanksgiving that we had great sex at my parents' patio. And
Is
I don't
it
know.
frigid?
It was freezing. It was hot though and cold. I can't explain it. It was
I see
amazing.
hot. Hey, is he married with kids now?
Yeah.
And he still texts you?
No, he's not married with kids. Sorry. No, he has a girlfriend. But yeah, he's like that night, Thanksgiving. Yeah, dude, they all text me still. Is that bad?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure
I
the
don't do
wives
anything.
love
No,
that.
because I'm friends with all my exes. It's fine. I give them good memories. You know, that's what I can do. That's what I leave them. And they move on and they're better men with better women.
I'd love to see what your
Different
Christmas
women.
card looks like.
My Christmas card?
You send Christmas cards to all your ex-boyfriends? What's just like photos of the places you guys banged?
I do, actually.
Season's greetings.
And I address it to them and their wives. And I'm like, remember that time? It's awesome.
Because most people send out like, you know, pictures with them and their kids and their
Yeah.
like their spouse, but you just send like locations of places that
Should
hot
I
places you banged.
Yeah. Maybe I should just do a montage of me and all my exes, like in the places that we went, like of all the places together in one card.
Just the locations with like puddles left behind.
Exactly.
Empty lube
puddles,
bottles.
lube bottles strewn across the floor, and no joke, that has happened to me. Okay, another thing is men who do housework really clean up in the bedroom. So there have been these studies. This has come out in recent years. Where like women are turned on by housework, and people laugh and they're like, "Oh, it's really hot if my husband's emptying the dishwasher," but it's really just not about that. Because couples who, I think that, you know, couples who are together, I know that couples who are together, they share the dishwashing, vacuuming, other domestic chores, once considered women's work, have a better and more fulfilling sex life, which is a new study. And it makes sense because relationships are, contemporary relationships. We're all doing everything. We're working, women are working, men are working, and they want equal sharing and they want your partner to be contributing. So, women who are left with the sole responsibility, cleaning the house, doing laundry, that would piss me off, taking care of the kids. And the last thing they want to do is have sex. Guys come home, they're doing that. You know what I'm saying? So if you're on the same level playing field, you're going to, have more sex. So everyone should, sweep and empty the dishwasher and the garbage baskets, waste baskets. Do you do that? Do you guys have chores that you split up?
No, I do everything.
Come on.
I do most of it. Because I'm home during the day and she works during the day.
Do you care?
No, like I do all like the heavy lifting. And I always think it's manipulation because she'll I'll be taking the trash out and folding the laundry and she'll be like, "You're so hot when you do that." And
no, but it really is
I
hot.
think she's just manipulating.
No.
She wants me to hear that, so it's positive reinforcement, so
No.
I'll do it again.
No, but then does she have sex with you after that?
Whatever.
You're not going to answer that? But I'm telling you, when men split the workload, it says women feel less overwhelmed and have a little bit more room in their mind for more sexy activities. And it's hot.
When she's down on her hands and knees
Listen,
plumbing, I
have
get
you
really
seen a
turned
man in rubber gloves?
on. What?
I don't know. With a tool belt? It's hot. No, I'm telling you. So this guy I was dating, when I first moved to my apartment in LA, he came over and this is a true story. He came over and he put together like my dimmer switch and hung stuff up in the bathtub, all this stuff. And I was told, I was turned, it was hot. I was like, you know how to do that? Like, it sounds like such a chick thing because I can't do anything like that. I have other skills, but it was hot. And then we had great sex. I appreciated it.
See, you're describing my brother-in-law. I can't compete with that. He comes over to the
Can you cook? Can you edit
yeah,
them? Could you edit them a family video or something?
I did actually for their first daughter's wedding. I did the whole thing.
So they must have loved that. You're a great editor.
I thought it was okay. They're too busy laughing at his jokes to even notice it. I think when I push play.
I hate this guy. Can we bring him down this year? Just
he'd be
kidding.
great.
It's all
He'd be
love.
great on the show.
He would be?
Oh yeah, he's like a total New Yorker guy. Yeah,
like New York. What do you mean by there's so many things that means?
He's from Long Island. He's
Jewish?
He's like
I'm
the
Jewish.
real dude.
Whatever. No.
He's Italian.
Oh, Italian Long
He's like an
Island.
Italian George Costanza.
Okay, but he's a good to your the daughter?
Yeah, he treats her well.
Okay, so the thing is, help out over the holidays. And again, the holidays are just, there's so much about stress. And I just feel like we need to do everything we can to make it. Because, this is the season that like puts a lot, like, do you ever fight with your partner over the holidays? I mean, I know I've broken up with boyfriends. There's just a lot of stress that goes on and keep up fights. So I'm going to tell you how you survive the in-laws first is use active listening skills. Listen to what they're saying. Don't insult your in-laws like Anderson does. Listen carefully. What?
One time. That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. They never forget. Okay, so here's the thing.
I think bring them a bottle of wine, too, right off the bat, right? Get them liquored up.
Get them a really nice bottle of wine. Do you bring them stuff? Are they drinkers?
Yeah, they have a few.
See.
I always show up with booze. Because I want to get them a little bit sauced so that, they're easier to deal with.
See, that's what everyone does over the holidays. Don't you think? That's why everyone's having, I was going to say that the article earlier, the news story, everyone's having sex because everyone's drunk. And you're more likely to have sex.
There are a lot of babies in September. A lot of births. Yeah.
It's true. That's
My
why.
mom works in the nursery and it goes crazy in September.
No, it's absolutely true. It's Virgos, anal child.
What?
Anal retentive. If you're a Virgo.
An anal child?
No.
I didn't think that was possible.
I did not mean that at
The
all.
thing with the holidays, Em, is like they're either 100 miles an hour or it's nice when you're actually sitting around doing nothing because people have time off too. So when you can actually enjoy like the Christmas tree or whatever, the decorations you got in the fireplace, enjoy it. Enjoy those little moments. But everything else is like 100 miles an hour because you have to do everything double speed and get everyone something and do more work so you can take time off.
Exactly. So you have to take evenings. This is my tips for couples. I'll go back to the in-laws in a minute because it's actually, that's a good point, is that take evenings for yourself. So like if you guys look at your calendar and you guys are both really busy, like try to plan evenings where you're not shopping, you're not doing things, and you're like, let's watch holiday movies or whatever it is that used to make you love the holidays. Like go back to when you were a child and you think about what made you happy. Maybe it's watching Christmas movies or watching, porn. I don't know. Have a night where you guys can help each other relax. So give each other massages. Like make it, like try to, if you could ever do it any other time of year, this is the time because it will keep you connected. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. So, okay, holiday parties. This is a study that came out. According to a national survey, 24% of Americans have taken the opportunity of a holiday party to hook up, either during or immediately afterwards with a coworker. 42% being guys, 27% being ladies between the ages of 18 and 34. In fact, the top 3 festivities for holiday hookups can be attributed to New Year's, Christmas, and workplace parties, respectively. So, if you are planning to seduce that guy from the sound department, graphic design, whatever, here's how you do it. Here's where people do it. The copy room, 10% of people do it in the copy room. I guess it's good. You have a door. That's the pro. Even if it doesn't lock, you can put some obstacles in front of it.
Get some pictures.
Exactly. The cons, it's in the movies all the time. You always think about having sex in the copy room. People are going to know that you're probably in there. But the best sex position for there is definitely standing up. Or the lady sitting tall and proud on the copy machine for photo memories of her ass. The other place people do it, 10%, the boss's desk. Pros, well, who hasn't hated their boss enough to want to have sex on their desk with some mad, passionate lovemaking? To watch their boss eat lunch there 2 days later. That seems kind of gross to me. And that seems risky. You're going to get fired if you sleep on the boss's desk. If he catches you,
don't sleep.
Semen,
just fuck on the desk.
Okay, and also the mailroom. 16% of people do in the mailroom. And the conference room, 18% of the people, which I can understand the conference room. That seems a little more benign.
A lot of room on that table.
Lots of room on the table. So they do that. But I would just say be careful having sex with someone you sleep with. Oh, taking a colleague home, 74% of people take it outside the party into their house. That seems to be the safest way. But just remember, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You should or should not sleep with someone you work with. But just remember, Monday morning, they're going to be at the office, and so are you. Probably for the rest of the year. And so be careful. Make sure you really like them. It's not just the liquid courage. Okay?
Can I just say that I wish I didn't say fuck? It was very crass and crude and uncalled for, and I apologize.
It's okay. Why? Because I don't swear a lot on the show?
I said don't sleep on the boss's desk. Just fuck on it, and that was rude. Should have said just bang.
It was rude. No, it's okay.
Bang.
Down. People understand. But I try not to, I guess being on the radio when I was first trained, I try not to swear very much, but sometimes it's appropriate. In my regular life, I swear way too much, but on the air, I don't. But here's something: if you are single for the holidays, let's just be honest. You might feel a little bummed. You might feel like it's a raw deal. Like, TV commercials and songs on the radio, movies on like basic cable, they're all dedicated to family and celebrating with a significant other. But, and then if you're single, you got to go home and they're like, why are you still single? Don't you want to meet anyone? What happened to what's his face? What's her face? Well, you guys seem really happy. You're not getting any younger. All that stuff can make you feel really, really awkward. And like, you don't want to see someone's, honestly, if I see another picture of someone's like baby wrapped in like Christmas lights, really, on Facebook, I don't want to see that. But don't get all grinchy. Here's some positives. And we're going to tell you some perks. We're going to tell you some things to do. Office Christmas parties. First of all, you only have to go to one, not two. You're free to sleep with whoever you want, coworker, like we just talked about. And I love going to parties alone. Like, I hate going to I'm not hate. If I'm really in love with someone, I'll go to your party, but it's kind of fun just to go to holiday parties alone and be by yourself. You also, Christmas Day plans. Coordinating with someone's other family, like Anderson was saying, like, you got to go through, we talked about this before, like your in-laws, you got to go back and forth, and you got to like see the parents that you can't stand or whatever. This time you can make the holidays all about you. You don't have to split the time with other families. You have more time to actually hang out with your chosen family, which might be your friends or your own family, but you don't got to deal with all that other stuff. And presents. Oh my God, I hate shopping for a boyfriend. It's the worst. It's like, what do I get? I'm the best thing ever. Then you're stressed. I mean, honestly, the holidays are just to be about joy and love and happiness and celebrating. And really, when you have a partner, it can be super stressful. So those are some perks. Okay, so let's talk to Annie Daly. She is a freelance reporter. We met first. She was working at Cosmo for 3 years, so she knows a lot about sex and relationships. And she also, like I said, writes for like Time Out New York. She writes for Self Magazine. She writes for New York Post. I mean, she writes for everybody. She's a great writer. She talks a lot about like what's going on with dating and relationship and all the trends. And we're going to talk to her right now. So we're going to get her on the phone.
Hi.
Hey, Annie, what's up? Annie, Yay. I was telling you that, and I told everyone who you are, is that your episode you were on probably, when was that? When were you here? It was one of the most popular episodes this year.
I was here in August.
In August. It was such
long ago at this point.
I know, I can't believe it. And it was a great episode. So I'm so happy that you're back with us tonight. And I have some questions for you.
I'm so happy too.
I know, I love it. And where can they find you? Just let's give out your where people can find you and follow you and all that. Your website, Twitter.
Yeah, so you can find me. My website is anniedaly.com, which is ANNIEDALY.com. And my Instagram and my Twitter are the same, and it's at Annie M. Daly, ANNIEM Daly, DALY.
Awesome. Okay, and we'll have this all on our website as well. Okay, Annie, I've got some questions for you because we always talk about like trends in dating and stuff like that. Have you heard of almost boyfriends or almost relationships, an almost boyfriend?
Oh my gosh, totally. First of all, I love the word almost.
Right.
In general. I feel like the word almost is one of the defining words of our time, just because we have so many opportunities to do everything that everybody like almost finishes things and almost has relationships and almost because there's so many choices and you end up going in so many different directions that you don't see that many things through to completion anymore.
Exactly. Everyone's got like ADD, right? And so there's this thing.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like the almost boyfriend thing is a trend. And when I was interviewed by Elite Daily, actually, and I'm like, well, do you mean friends with benefits? And they're like, this is a little different. So their definition was like in between actual full-time boyfriend and one-night stand, there's this limbo of almost boyfriends in which we all have the makings of a long-term relationship, which has all the makings of a long-term relationship, but we never get to the next level. And that's the biggest problem. It's the endless cycle of almost boyfriends, which won't turn into anything of substance and certainly won't turn into husbands. So why do you think this is happening so much more recently than ever?
So, okay, it's so funny. I used to be the queen of almost boyfriends, honestly. I would actually joke about them to my parents and my grandparents as well at family functions, you know, because they would be like, so, how's your dating life? And I would just say, oh, you know, filled with almost boyfriends.
Right.
Because I think that honestly the reason for it is the plethora of choice. Again, it really does come down to online dating and social media. And when there are so many options out there, people always think that whatever they have, there could be something better. And so when you have someone who is really, really great on paper and in person, then people are just less likely to lock it down and tie it down because there's always just the glimmer of hope that something could be better, something that they don't even know.
Right.
And so it just makes people less willing to commit and to lock it down and say, like, yes, you are my boyfriend.
Because someone just liked your picture on
then
Facebook.
It's harder to break up.
Exactly, it
so
is.
An almost boyfriend, if you never really sealed the deal, then it's easier to kind of end it.
Right. And then, but then you never get to any point of, and of any kind of commitment, and it's this cycle, and, eventually you hope you mature to the point of, I'm going to meet someone and I'm going to want to, but no one's seeing the models of this anymore. They're not seeing none of their friends. Their friends all have almost boyfriends or almost girlfriends. So it's not even like it's the thing to do is to be in a relationship. It's like you have 3 people you're sleeping with. I just don't think, and I think that people also, that they, that neither men or women want to step up. So I think a lot of times women might go along with it, or guys, because they're like, well, that's what he wants or that's what she wants. And so they just think, they're afraid to say it because they don't want to be rejected. And so everyone's just kind of going along with it. I think though dating around is so exhausting. Like after a while, you just think you'd be wiped out and you're like, okay, I'll take you, let's just commit. But it is a trend and I don't know what to do about it because I think that it's distracting.
It's so funny that you mention that too, because I think that a lot of people do that, especially around this time, around the holidays. Right. I wrote a story for Cosmo about this last year about we coined it the holiday boyfriend, which is basically this phenomenon where everybody just wants to have a boyfriend character in their life during the holidays, regardless of whether or not they actually like someone. So they end up settling for like lame guys because it's better than it's easier to go through the holidays with somebody, even if it's not somebody that you even like.
Right. Because you want to have someone to kiss on New Year's or whatever, and then you dump them on January 1st. I don't know. But you're right. People get really lonely over the holidays. So we were going to talk, I was going to actually just talking about some of the perks of being single over the holidays. But I think you're absolutely right that this is the season people don't want to be on.
I remember the experts, some relationship therapists that I spoke with called it mistletoe syndrome.
They called it the what? Say that again?
Because you look around and you see all of the romance and the cheesy ads in the movies and everything, and it just, even if you're super smart and you understand that you're being somewhat manipulated by culture and society, you still fall for it anyway.
Wait, what did you call it? I missed it. What did you say it was called? The what? The
mistletoe syndrome.
Mistletoe syndrome. You're like, oh my God, there's going to be mistletoe.
Was a term that I love.
That is such a great one. That is so true. I mean,
it's so true.
I know.
It really strikes home.
I feel like it's a relief not having someone to buy for and to go see their families. I mean, I think that there's some pros to it, but I get it. The holidays are a sentimental time and you don't want to be alone. So, I get it. Now, what do you think are the pros and the cons of all this casual dating?
During the holidays?
Just, or anytime.
Or anytime. Okay. Wow, that's a fun question. A loaded one, too. I would say the biggest pro of casual dating in general is that it gives you a better idea of what you want down the line.
Right.
As long as you go into it not expecting to have each person that you date be like your everything.
Right.
So if you have a healthy mentality about it and you know that you're actually just dating around, then it's really fun because, first of all, you get to know what it is that you want and you don't want. Second, you get to just hang out with a lot of interesting people.
Right.
It's almost like a lesson in psychology and also just a lesson in various careers that you can have in the city that you're in because you learn about everyone's jobs and you see how different people live their life.
Right.
It's fascinating.
No, it's true. And you never know, too. They might have a friend. Yeah, they might have a friend that you like. Like, I had a guy that was... Yeah, recently we went out a few times and he was into me and I wasn't really, I made it clear, I'm not really into you. And I thought God, this is going to be weird and we won't be friends. And 3 days later he called me. He's like, I have someone I want to fix you up with. It was so nice. It was such a nice way of now we're friends. I'm like, listen, I'm a great wing girl. I can hook you up. And he introduced me to someone. And I thought that was really nice. I didn't like the guy, but still, it was a good effort. Yeah, you're right.
That's a good effort. And that's also so nice on his part to just be mature and end things normally as opposed to slow fading you out or ghosting you or just doing something immature like that or breaking up over text or so many other lame ways to break up with someone.
So many lame ways. The slow fade.
Nice gesture on his part.
I thought so too. I mean, the slow fade is just horrible. Why do the guy, so then what are the cons, you think, of casual dating?
Of casual dating?
Yeah, besides like getting herpes
well,
and protection.
I think that the biggest con is that you just don't get the experience of having someone truly, truly care for you.
Right.
And that in and of itself is an amazing experience that everybody should get to experience at some point.
Right.
So
you don't get to experience intimacy.
Also, I think maybe you can become a little jaded and a little too hard and like not willing to accept when love does come your way. If you've dated casually for so long that you've almost like put up a wall where you're kind of lying to yourself and telling yourself that you don't need anyone because you've just become so accustomed to not needing anyone.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
It can be harder to let your guard down when you eventually do find someone that you really like.
Right. No, I think you're right. You don't recognize the signs.
That I can think of.
Yeah, because your muscle, like you get into a pattern of this is what I do, and so you don't even know how to take it. If you like someone, you don't even know.
That's totally it. Your pattern is this is what I do. This is how I date.
Right. I don't even know. I don't call him right away. You play games.
You're protecting yourself. It's totally...
Yeah, it's normal, but then you never get... So I know you've been...
Which is, by the way, totally understandable. It just can get dangerous if it goes on for too long or if you're not self-aware enough to realize that you're doing it.
Right. And there are people out there, once you get to the point and you're like, I'm done with this, you can find someone who does want to be in a relationship as well. So you don't have to keep going down this road. So, okay. So Annie, I also know that you've been in a long distance relationship. I think we were going to talk about this.
I can't.
You can't hear me?
I'm so sorry.
Okay,
I can't hear you again. I don't know why this keeps...
I don't either. Okay, Annie, we're going to just have you back on when we got the phones working out better.
Okay, I am so...
Oh my God, you're awesome, Annie. I love you. I love talking to you. Happy holidays, and I will talk to you very soon. Thanks for calling in.
Okay.
Bye, sweetie. That was Annie Daly. Thanks. You can find her. It's all the information will be on my website during this podcast. Okay, so single. That was interesting, though. Almost boyfriend. I think it's really true that people just aren't. I mean, I had boyfriends in college. Like, I always had one every year. I didn't do the casual thing, but sometimes I think I should have done. Now I'm doing it. I do it kind of backwards. Here is the thing. When you are single, here's some tips for surviving if you're single. I don't even want to say surviving. If you're single, freaking embrace it over the holidays. Because I know you get bummed out. You're single, maybe you're with your family, or you're not with your family. They can both bum you out, and it can be emotional. So here's some tips to help you make it work. Do something that's non-traditional. Do something that's like outside your box. So with all the holiday hype, you might feel like, you have to survive, like I said, rather than enjoy them. But watch a movie you've been wanting to watch. Take a mini vacation in your hometown. Like, go to a museum. Go ice skating. Go see those friends you never get to see who are there. Take some time for yourself. Like, what's on your to-do bucket list that you've been like, oh, God, I never get to go there. Also, it is a great time to meet new people. Ask your friends. Say, hey, you have any holiday parties? Invite me. When they go out with their coworkers, the best way to meet people, I think, and it is actually true, studies show besides online, where a lot of people are meeting, is through friends of friends, their coworkers. Everyone's going for drinks right now. So it's a great untapped resource, to be, to go out with people who are working, or also through your friends who are in a relationship. People in relationships always want you to get in a relationship. All my married friends are like, oh, when are you getting married? So, why not go out with them and meet some of their single friends to let everyone like, I'm single, let's hang out, let's do something. People love being inclusive over the holidays. So don't be shy and don't think no one wants you around. I know that when I've let people know that I'm here, they're like, oh, come with us, come to, I'm sure you've got people like that in your life. And so this way you can just go out, you're on your own, you don't have to worry about everyone, boyfriend or girlfriend, and you can actually meet other people through friends that you trust. It's also a good time that you can reconnect with old people, not like old people, but old people that you don't see that often. Your friends, like, they might migrate home for the holidays, but people are also around. Or people in relationships, you think, oh, I never get to see them because they're married again. You should catch up with them. Say, I want to hang out. It's also reach out to family members. Just give them a call. The people that you don't often talk to, like your crazy aunt in Chicago that you love, that you never, make time to connect. It feels really good. You never have time during the year to just pick up the phone, so you can reconnect with those people. And you can also like host a party at your house. I know you think everyone's busy and doing stuff, but there are so many people who just don't have their families around or don't have things going on. Have a potluck. You don't have to go crazy and go make all the food. Have people come over. You go to people's houses. You know, just like get together. People, can I bring a friend? Sure. I mean, I know when I've been alone for the holidays or New Year's or whatever it is, I always meet the best people because I like flying solo. That's me. I know a lot of people don't. I actually prefer it. Anderson, why are you smiling at me? Is that weird?
You like flying solo. That's very strange. I'm being sarcastic.
It has another meaning, right?
What do you mean?
No? I don't know, doesn't it? Like flying, I don't know. Yeah, I do. I really...
You're a lone wolf. Emily's a lone wolf.
I've always been that way, though.
No one can trap her.
You can't trap me
No one can hold her down.
Box me in. I know. You know how many guys I've dated that are like, I just wish I could put you in my pocket. Like, they love that I'm such a free spirit and that I'm so independent. And then a few months in, they're like, I wish I could just put you in my pocket. I wish I could just contain you.
You're kind of bragging here.
What?
Do you
I'm
think
not
there's a guy out
bragging.
there? Do you think there's a guy out there that could capture you?
I capture me.
You're like
What
a
am I,
butterfly,
wild
very
animal?
elusive butterfly.
You know, I'm open. I'm open to be.
No. Honestly, do you think there's a dude out there that if he walked up, it might work? Do you think there's one out there?
Yes, sure. Absolutely.
Forever.
What do you mean forever?
What the fuck does forever mean?
Sure. I'm open. Absolutely. I have not met
No,
that
that's
person
just
yet.
like, you're just saying, you're eluding the question.
No, I think absolutely. I think there's someone out there that I could meet and I could say, yeah, done, put a fork in it.
I want that
Me
for you.
neither.
I hope that happens for you.
Why?
I don't know.
No, I think my mom does too.
I don't like the idea of 70-year-old Emily, with a loose vagina.
70, I think you said 7.
No, 70-year-old loose vagina at the gym with Madison.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, I think that I meet a lot of nice guys. We'll see what happens. I don't trip on that. You know why? Because I just think there's so much to life and finding someone is great. And when you're obsessive about it and I have to find the one, you're not going to find them that way either. So.
Plus, the show would suffer badly if, like, you fell in love and you were always, like, with some dude and like, watching movies and eating popcorn on the couch. This show would become very dull.
I can't talk about the crazy dudes I'm dating. Right. You're right. It's true. I can never be in a relationship. I have sex, though, P.S., but...
I'm well aware.
I do think there could be someone great, and I can't wait to tell you about it. I will tell you all
does it
about
count? Does sex with toys count as sex?
No. It does not. It counts
When's
as
the last time you
orgasms.
had sex with an uncut man?
Uncut man?
Yeah.
Uncircumcised
Right.
man? I would say about 2.5 years ago.
You like it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, uncircumcised penis.
We're going to talk about it like in
difference.
an episode coming up, right?
Yeah. You can't. It's not so. I'm telling you, it's actually. I like it because I feel like it's super sensitive,
Less work for you.
less work, and it's. You might not have seen one before, but when you do, it's like nothing. Whatever. I did a whole show. about
Anteater.
it. No, they're fine. Why not? I don't discriminate against penises. As long as there's a penis ready and willing to go that I'm into, I'm down. If you like the show, which I hope you do, seems like you do, well then just rate us 5 stars. We love it when you do that on iTunes or wherever you listen. And also subscribing just really helps to keep bringing you quality content and making the shows that we love bringing you. If there's any topics you want to hear more about, you can email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com. And finally, happy holidays to everybody. Happy Christmas Eve. Have a wonderful holiday, everybody. I appreciate you all. So excited to be heading into our 15th year. And to be honest, none of this would happen without you guys listening, supporting the show, sharing with a friend, emailing me and telling me and my staff, like how the show's helped you. And asking your questions. We're all in this together, right? That's how we're going to all have better sex and relationships in the new year. So thank you. And thanks to my amazing team, Ken, Kristen, Elisa, producer Jamie, and Michael. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com.